Hello, my friends. You might wonder why I have the camera aimed in the air here. Raven will know even without me saying. They're not identical. But nonetheless, happened. Call and response, you might call it, and I'll get into that in a sec. Just something that came to mind. These little fluffs, they're floating around. When Raven and I first got together, we had this really interesting communication with the divine, kind of a synchronicity thing, coincidence, quote unquote, where the little fluff, at the time I think it was more of a dandelion, but it's the symbolism of the floating seed or floating potential, rebirth, and it happening at a really potent moment or moments in our relationship. I should turn this around. Now that you've seen the fluffs, they're everywhere. I'm sure I've eaten some already, along with the mosquitoes. But yeah, so it became a really important and meaningful little thing that a lot of people would know when their relationship starts. These little magical moments that you could just. A lot of my clients and friends know these moments in different situations, and it kind of just tips the scale from sometimes just wonderful, other times traumatic, into something deeper and more meaningful and touched by God, for lack of a better term, touched by the infinite, whatever term you want to use. So I was just thinking thoughts that at that moment when just a sudden, like really, there were no fluffs, and then I turn around and there they are while I'm making my coffee, or my third coffee. Kind of cool. What else was I going to mention? Well, we're still hanging on the edge of a cliff, waiting to find out if we get accepted by some company for financing. At the moment, I'm looking for my coffee mug, and I have this odd. My short-term memory has just sucked, and like I remember as soon as I forget. Like I'll walk into a room and just go, why did I just come in here? I knew I came in for something, and then I'll retrace my steps and remember. Like that kind of thing. I think it's just from absolute overload of the last, I could say last 5 years, but especially the last year, and then even more especially the last month. Just walking kind of in here. I'm starting to. I got my tent up, storage tent, and I've got the pallets in, and I'm now filling it up, which is then in turn emptying some things out. And then I will organize that. So the rest of today is a bit of that. At the end of the day, the chicken coop, hopefully. And I just kind of organizing of this and this. It can be very daunting, I must say, but a lot of this stuff needs sorting. So there's a lot of, still I believe there's a lot of bulk stuff that can be sorted through and thrown out or given away or sold or something. So I'm not giving up hope on anything. Gosh, I don't know where my coffee mug is. It's amazing. And I know it's not just me, because my electrical guys over yesterday, they put something down and they were saying, hey, I can't find the whatever. And I said, good luck in this pile. It's like anything you put down gets camouflaged. Might have an electrical guy come by to an inspector to inspect what had been done yesterday. And, oh yes, there's my drill, the one I had open using while we were just in the last moments of moving. It's amazing how things just, it's a law of something where, you know, I walk around and it's guaranteed that something will tangle or hook onto a part of my clothing and fall over. And then there's a guarantee that things will hook when I'm trying to pull them out of something. And so if I want them to kind of be released, they won't. And then it just seems that I magically have all these pieces of clothing with drawstrings and stuff, so they get tangled as I walk by something. And it's about every 15 minutes, I think, that I topple something. And sometimes I don't swear, sometimes I do swear, sometimes I swear quietly. Sometimes I just catch myself just before. I'm trying to stop reacting because based on the theory that maybe those little kick the tire reactions might actually be re-identifying or tying me into those frustrated moments. So we'll see as I experiment over time. But if anyone could help me find, like just in the comments, tell me you saw my coffee mug somewhere. I only have the one. I had this memory of putting it on the corner of what I thought was this wood frame thing, but I must have moved it since then, because that thing I turned over to make room for something and I didn't see it fall off or what have you. So I don't know. Oh, I'm going back to this area to look. Oh, I've brought this metal table over that's got stuff on it now. And yeah, this is the wooden frame thing. Let's just tip it back and see if there is a coffee mug hidden. Nope. This is just where I threw a bunch of junk that I'm going to put in the garbage bag from kitchen moments. I am perplexed. Here, I'll torture you again with my ugly mug. That's British humor. Raven doesn't quite often understand my humor. More so, she won't understand it if I'm texting or something, so she doesn't get the intonations and things. But British humor tends to be kind of dry. And if you're the kind of person that's not exposed to it, you probably won't get it. So I find I quite often get across the wrong meaning and stuff. But so I'm back in here, and oh my gosh, I could spend hours just obsessing over finding my coffee mug, which then it'll be too late to drink that third coffee. That's fascinating. But some point very soon I'll have my third coffee, and I've got more stuff. Put it in the background here. More stuff to bring over to the tent. It's kind of a neat feeling. I'm hoping to, one of the things I'm hoping is to open my videos, YouTube and Facebook, to a larger audience, a more diverse audience, including, for example, people doing similar things like this. Would be interesting to get some comments from them, both people that we might be inspiring that are hovering on it, And this insanity makes him feel like, well, if he can do it, anyone can do it, kind of thing. But I would love to encourage people, if not here, somewhere else, but even around here, the property values, like everywhere, have gone up like insanity. But a piece of land, I don't know, 5 acres or something, especially if you don't have electricity there, and it would be hard to, and you're willing to do the off-grid thing, it's a pretty affordable thing to do. You know, just get a handful of acres and just start tinkering, start building your little world. You can do 10 by 10s buildings without a permit, so you could literally get solar stuff hooked up, 10 by 10 cabin, put a second floor on it, a little bit bigger. I think that's allowed in most places because the footprint's still the same. I think there's a restriction on height, maybe, to some degree. You could even build a few of those cabins, and you could have your solar setup that you get from as junky as Canadian Tire, or better, or best, depending on which end of the scale you want to connect with. I'm still looking for my coffee cup while I chat. But yeah, I'd like to encourage people to, or who are hovering on it, to do that exact thing, and to start communicating with me and others, because I'd really like to form a loose community of people sharing ideas and things, because there's a lot of cool stuff on YouTube, and it's very comforting and encouraging, and makes things seem a lot more possible. I know I had a nice creative flow last night. This morning, I guess I went to bed early, and then I woke up at about 2, watched a video on YouTube of a couple of people building little cabins out of logs, because I'm thinking about this skyrocketing escalation of the prices of wood and other things. And I thought, well then, so what is the answer? Well, this guy on YouTube, and I can't think now what his name is, but really, really cool stuff. But what I really liked, he was building a vertical log cabin, mostly vertical. And he said that he was doing it vertical. He had reasons for it, practical reasons. He said that because he was using green trees that he chopped down and putting them right in place right away. And he said the certain shrinkage and things that happens. And if you're doing it horizontally, there's issues. Whereas if you do it vertically, there should not be those issues. Interesting. Had me thinking. But what I'm kind of just starting to think, and he also said, like, just fucking do it. Don't think you have to have it done this way, and you gotta have that plan, and you gotta this. And I found that very encouraging, because that is how I work. And if I can't, I mean, I kind of plan as I go, and if I can't, then I psych myself out, like I have done for 60 years, thinking that I could never build a house for one reason or another. And now here I am in a position where I'm thinking that I can. And maybe I can very well. You know, I know how to use a chainsaw. I've got a forest. I'm thinking that I would have to really figure out what trees are not worth using and which ones are, and kind of go from there. I don't want something that falls apart too quickly. But yeah, the mosquitoes are down to about 20 per square foot, I'd say. So it's bearable at the moment, unless I go into a dark space. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking about, is like, if I wasn't so distracted right now about getting certain things in place, I could hypothetically just be going out into the forest and finding an area and just starting to chop down some very ideal trees, and using them to build a little cabin. and not having I'd have the cost of nails or bolts or things like that. And I'm thinking this is it's an important thing to achieve something when prices of wood is so high, but the price of wood is so high. But kicking things out of the way as I go. But also, just as an exercise, I'm thinking of working with a limited stock of something. So, anyways, I wonder. Poor little coffee mug. Actually, more poor little me. You can't have that third cup of coffee. Ow. Right on the wrist. There's certain places that when bitten by a mosquito or black fly have this certain kind of twinge. And there's some places on the wrist I find, places on the temple, and places on the finger, which are quite annoying. So folks, I have not found that coffee mug yet. That is absolutely, I'm expecting to see some little place where I put it that wasn't that other framed thing. And as soon as I see it, I'll be like, oh God, that's it. There it is. So, where is that place? I'm gonna choose a different area to walk. Maybe it's just kind of slotted. I could have put it in that one place and then moved it to another and didn't remember about that little piece. And I think what it's called is doing something while you're thinking about something else. So kind of doing it on automatic. People do that a lot. Driving a car long distance, and you go into kind of a trance. You're fully aware of the road, but it just kind of locks you in, and before you know it, you're 3 hours further down the road, and you're like, oh, that was good. Whereas the other way around, you think about it too much. You want to get somewhere, and it takes forever. Well, I'm kind of thinking that I'm not going to find that coffee mug until a lot of this stuff has been moved around. I could just remember that my last sip, that might link me to where it went. Oh, just coming out of that door there, I just caught this like 1 second breeze. Okay. Well, I am surprised. Kind of half wondering if I did actually tip it somewhere. And just somehow it flew. No, I would have seen it flying. Pretty sure. I'm pretty tuned into that coffee mug, so I would have noticed it. Oh, well, at least it's giving me a break. Hey, little chippers. Little chipmunk. Hey, Chippy Chippy. What are you doing? Here. Oh, don't run away. Come on. Chippy. I won't give you a snack. Oh, he was sneaking around here. But I didn't see him till he ran away. Let's just see. We'll wait. Where are you going to kind of turn up, Chippy? We have loads. There's he is. What? We have loads of chipmunks here. Not many. We have these little kind of, maybe a tad bigger than a chipmunk. Red squirrels, I think they are. Reddish. You could almost mistaken them for a chipmunk at a slight distance. But we have billions of them in the forest, and the dogs love to. Oh, I have this really right there in the bend. Oh, tore something, strained something way back months ago during the move, and I couldn't stop. I had to keep doing stuff, so it kept irritating it, and irritating it, and now I'm not doing as much with it, although still I am doing stuff in it. Oh, it really hurts. Okay, I think I'm gonna give up on the coffee. I'll let you know if I do find it. So please press the like button on YouTube, a little thumbs up, and make a comment if you feel like it, and subscribe. And also, if you would, please, if you think of any people to share it to get outside of my group, just because I would like it to get to more people, and I like to just bring in more conversation, and I'll just get more activity happening here. But anyways, I'm gonna get to it, and I'll wish you guys a wonderful afternoon, and I'll get back to you sometime in the next handful of hours. Over and out.